Hi, I'm Carl Azuz for CNN 10, and thank you for taking a few minutes to get up to speed on world events. An objective update on the impeachment investigation concerning the U.S. House of Representatives and U.S. President Donald Trump is our first subject today. Here's what's happening. The House Judiciary Committee is planning to hold its first impeachment hearing on Wednesday. Until now, it's the House Intelligence Committee that's been holding hearings, including 2 weeks of public testimony that wrapped up before Thanksgiving. House Democrats, who are leading the investigation, say a vote on whether to impeach the president, meaning formally charge him with a crime, could happen in the House by Christmas. And after that, it would be up to the Senate to hold a trial.
So what's the process? How does impeachment work? Well, the investigation is going to go forward, and if the people in charge of the House of Representatives, the Democrats, think that there is enough to go forward with impeachment, the House Judiciary Committee will consider what's called articles of impeachment, which are specific charges. And if they vote articles of impeachment, then the full House of Representatives will vote on whether Donald Trump will be impeached. Now, if there is a majority in support of impeachment, Donald Trump doesn't lose his office. That's like a formal charge. It's like an indictment. So if Donald Trump is indicted the way Bill Clinton was impeached, and that is indicted, then the case will go to the United States Senate. It takes 2/3, 67 votes in the Senate, to remove a president from office. I think everyone believes it's very unlikely in a Republican-controlled Senate that Donald Trump will ever be removed from office by the Senate, but that's the next step if there is impeachment voted in the House of Representatives.
So what could the outcome be? The easiest scenario, and probably the most unlikely scenario, is they move forward in the House with impeachment and they remove him in the Senate. Under that scenario, Vice President Pence becomes President Pence. Again, very unlikely. The other scenarios would be they move forward with impeachment articles in the House. He's acquitted in the Senate. And we'll see what that means for 2020. It could very well energize the president's supporters. It could also energize Democrats. Now listen, if they don't go forward in any way and no impeachment articles come out of the House, we don't know what happens with that. Does the president essentially dodge a bullet and his supporters are energized and therefore Democrats are demoralized in 2020? We just have to wait and see how these scenarios play out.
So what's this all about? It involves President Trump and the president of Ukraine. Democratic leaders have accused President Trump of abusing his power to get Ukraine to investigate a Ukrainian gas company that Hunter Biden used to work for. He's the son of former U.S. Vice President Joe Biden, who's running for the presidency in next year's election. So many Democrats say President Trump was trying to pressure a foreign country to dig up dirt on a political rival, and that's an impeachable offense. President Trump and Republican leaders say the impeachment investigation is a hoax motivated by politics. They say Democrats are rushing the process and that the president did nothing wrong that he could be impeached for. As far as tomorrow's hearing goes, neither President Trump nor his attorneys will participate. They say it was scheduled for when the president is at an international meeting in London and that it's unclear if the process would be fair to him. The chairman of the House Judiciary Committee says that's unfortunate because the American people deserve transparency. Experts say to expect the House to be divided along party lines over the ongoing impeachment investigation. 10-second trivia. Which of these nations celebrates Unity Day in remembrance of an event from 1990? Germany, Serbia, China, or Argentina? German Unity Day celebrates the reunification of the country at the end of the Cold War. Germany has a unique challenge on its hands. What does it do with almost 2,000 containers of high-level radioactive waste? The country is shutting down all of its nuclear power plants. It made that decision after an earthquake and tsunami damaged a Japanese plant in 2011. The problem is that the nuclear waste that these plants produce doesn't go away. It's usually put in temporary storage near the power plant it came from. But it's very dangerous. Scientists say spent nuclear rods are so hot they can't even be moved for several decades until they cool down, and that then they need to be buried at least 3,300 feet underground for 1 million years. Oh, and the ground that houses the waste can't be watery or prone to earthquakes that could cause a nuclear leak. Germany does not plan to export the waste to another country. Researchers there are on the hunt for a burial site in Germany, and a number of communities are fighting to keep it from getting buried near them. Assuming a place is found, another challenge is figuring out how to warn distant future generations who may have a very different language system than ours that the nuclear burial site is not something they want to explore. We've talked a lot about plastic pollution in our oceans. There are a number of companies working on edible containers, think bowls and spoons, to cut down on that. But at this point anyway, they come at a price. The edibles you're about to see cost 33 cents a piece if you buy them wholesale, meaning in bulk. A foam bowl retails for about 3 cents. But could the more expensive option be both healthy and friendly to the environment?
The beaches of Cape Town, like many around the world, are littered with food containers like these. This kind of waste bothered Georgina de Kock so much that she was inspired to come up with a product that would eliminate it altogether. It's called Munch Bowls.
When did you come up with the idea to come up with an edible plate?
It really started of thinking, what alternatives are there? Because someone asked me to create something for them to hold curry and rice. I wanted to make it a wholesome product as well. It's no use saving the world and you give people food that is not good for them. Yeah, no preservatives.
No preservatives, I see. So how do you preserve this then? Just naturally?
Rooibos.
Why did you think of using that ingredient?
It was quite amazing. I was at a talk show specifically on rooibos, and then they mentioned it is actually a natural preservative. And this was like, wow, because I was looking for something. And I tested that and it actually does work.
Normally these bowls are machine processed, but today Georgina has prepared a few bowls by hand.
How long can it stay like this without getting soggy and you picking it up and there being a total
least
disaster and mess?
At least 5 hours.
5 hours?
Mm-hmm. And you can heat it up in the microwave too.
What? Mm-hmm. 5 hours? How did you come up? How does that work?
Well, you experiment and then suddenly you get a surprise and it works.
The soup du jour, lentil, warmed in the microwave, but the bowl is still crisp.
Good to do this.
Yeah?
It's pretty good.
Do you like it?
I do.
Munch bowls come in different flavors for sweet and savory food. And while this is not the only edible tableware on the market, the company says they're in high demand. But for innovations like Munch Bowls to completely eliminate single-use plastics, they have to overcome one hurdle: price.
It is much more expensive than plastic. I think eventually it will become cheaper as we can produce more. Now, we don't have a problem with our export market. They realize the need for this product and, they are actually quite proud to be more green, eco-friendly.
Truth be told, if you drive around in a giant banana car, you're going to get stopped. Steve Braithwaite got stopped by a state trooper. The officer had a look to make sure the car is legal. It is, and probably ask some questions. This is the record holder for longest custom banana car. Braithwaite built it himself. He tours the country giving people rides for whatever they want to pay. And instead of a ticket, the officer gave him 20 bucks. And after that, well, we wish we could say he peeled out. You wouldn't want to drive a banana car like a banana slug. It wouldn't be nearly as stimulating. Sure, the officer might have thought he slipped up, might have given him a bunch of tickets, but it would have made the story even more fruitful, y'all. I'm Carl Azus, and CNN 10 will be Bananac tomorrow.